Brian Wilson, songwriter, composer, musician, artist, genius. In this video, we're celebrating the music of Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. Or more specifically, the song God Only Knows. And if you want to get even more specific, it's just the a cappella version of God Only Knows. Or better said, the vocals without the music. I wanted to get into the head of Brian Wilson. I wanted to explore deeply the song God Only Knows. So I decided to record a sample of just the vocals. This was made available on a special anniversary edition of the Pet Sounds album. The name of the track is God Only Knows Stack O Vocals. I recorded this into the computer, brought it into the Nord sample editor, assigned it to a key, uploaded it to the Nord so that I could always have it with me. Then from the internet, I discovered the chords and decided to play along. In this tutorial, I talk about how to play along with that sample. I show you how to take the Nord and have the sample playing in the background while accompanying it with the Mellotron. Thanks for watching. Hi, this is Mark from My Keys to Music, and in this video we've got something very special planned. I have a Nord Stage 3 here, and we're going to introduce a pre-recorded sample. I actually created a sample from a sound snippet off the internet or off Spotify, and I already put it here in the Nord. And then we're going to play along with that using a Mellotron, and we're going to have the keyboard split, and we're going to do all that at once here and sort of mix many different methodologies and ideas together. So to do this, if you want to follow along, feel free. All you need to do is turn on your Nord Stage 3. You'll note that it goes to A sound, somewhere wherever you last left it. And I'm going to now go all the way to the right using my program switch. And I'm going to get to an area of the Nord that isn't yet programmed. Okay, so let's just say N53. I have an empty program there. And you'll note when you get there, it's completely blank. Now what I'd like to do first is I'd like to have a Mellotron play. So I'll turn on my synth engine. And of course that's blank as well. And I'm going to introduce the idea of going to the sample area. So if I click this button here until the two lights eliminate, indicating that the sample on the right is between those two lights, and that's what's selected, so sample. Now I happen to have a pre-recorded sample here. We'll talk about that in a second. I first want to go to 229, which is a sample that you should also have, 229, called 16 Violin Mellotron. Now let's listen to what that sounds like. Pretty plain Jane, there's no effects going on there, it's basically the pure sample. So let's enhance that, and then after we make those enhancements, we'll save it to the Nord Stage 3, and you'll learn how to save a program. So let's add some reverb. And I'm going to turn the reverb on, and I'm going to go to Hall 1, and I'm going to bring this dial up to about 7 or 8, between 7 and 8, let's say. Let's listen to that. Okay, now I've got some reverb sounding a little better. I also want to add some release. So I'll put that to about a 3 on the knob, which equates to about, what, say 120 milliseconds, something like that. So anything that you move here, it'll show you up here, or just about anything you move, will show you a little indicator of what you're doing. Now I think because I've already got my synth engine on, I've got one effect, let's go ahead and save that program right now. So first you want to hold the Shift key and click the System button to make sure that your Memory Protect is off. If your Memory Protect is on, you won't be able to save anything. So my Memory Protect is off, and I saved that earlier. I turned that off earlier. Now click the Store button once and twice. You've just saved the program. Just from that little bit that you learned here, you just saved a program. You have programmed your Nord. So give yourself a pat on the back, because that's a big question. A lot of people say, how do I build a program from scratch? How do I save these things and figure that out? Now let's rename that program so that it's something other than unnamed. So I'll hold the Shift key and I'll hold the red button, and that brings me to the Store As area, which allows me to name the sound or the program. So I'll click this one button here, and that brings me into, that correlates with the ABC. So I'll do that. Let's go back here with this. So it's a combination of this button and this button held at just the right time to get this going. So let's name this Today. T. You see I'm holding this key down, the button, and it's actually pretty quick. Of course, I've been doing this a little bit. Now, I don't want today, I want to delete those, so I can actually use this delete button here. Move that over and delete. I'll click the store button. It's asking me one more time, save N53 unnamed as today. Click store. Now I've got N53 today saved with a Violin Mellotron all ready to go on panel A. All right, and that sounds pretty good. I want to do one more thing to this Mellotron. I want to bring it down an octave, and I want to enhance the bass so that I have a really deep bass sound. So I'll turn on the EQ and direct that to the synth area here. Hopefully you'll see that. Yep, it looks like you can see it. And then I'll put the bass knob all the way to the right. I'll put the mid somewhere in the middle, and I'll put the treble up to like 1 or 2 o'clock, which correlates to 5, which is what, plus 3 dB, I guess? Okay, plus 3 dB. And then I'll put the frequency up here to like 1.5. All right, so that gets my EQ. Let's hear what that sounds like. It's a little lower now because I lowered it an octave, but listen to that bass. So now we've got a great Mellotron ready to accompany this sample. Now, how are we going to play this sample? Well, and the sample is only played from the synth engine. My synth engine is already allocated to Mellotron, so I can't obviously play that at the same time. I have a whole nother panel to choose from, so I can go to panel B. It's like introducing a brand new stage 3 to the mix, and it's completely blank and ready to go, ready for programming. So let's do that now. Let's turn the synth engine on, and let's direct it back to this sample. So you click this button here to select sample. That gets me into the sample area of the synth engine. And I'll bring this waveform knob and bring it all the way down to sample 1, which is where I happen to store my sample of God Only Knows. Now with this, I also want to enhance it with some effects. So I'll put the reverb on for this one as well. I'll use the same reverb setting, Hall 1, but instead of going to 7 or 8, I'll go to just 5. We don't want to overdo it. So this recording is so good, it doesn't really need much enhancement in terms of EQ or special effects or anything like that. But a couple more things, and then we're ready to actually play. So the next thing I need to do is I want to split the keyboard, and I want that sample way out of the way. I want to be able to play it and trigger it, but I don't want it in the way of my playing. So I'm going to use this one little area here of the keyboard way to the right and split my keyboard. So to split the Nord Stage 3, it's really quite easy. You just click once on the split button, and that carves, if you can picture carving a split between both panel A and B at the same split point. So once you split the keyboard, it really does cross over to both panels. So all I need to do now is tell the Nord Stage 3 to split where I want it to. So if I hold that same split button, but this time I hold it, I'll see another screen here called keyboard split. And it shows me F4 is indicated as the split. Now, here's a clever little trick. Just take your thumb on the same hand and just slightly move up the knob until it gets to C7, which is way over here. And now I've got my keyboard split right here. Now, in order for the sample to only play on the right side of the split, I have to double click this and make sure that my 2 lights on my zone indicator are on the right. So my sample will only play there. And to know that I'm doing a good job, I can play here now on the middle part of the keyboard, and if I hear nothing, I know I've done a good job of splitting that correctly. So now that it's split the panel B, I want to go back to panel A and say, well, I only want the Mellotron on the left side, so let's make sure that only plays on the left side, which again will be everything left of C7, which is really a high split point. It's almost hard to believe that you can split just this tiny little bit of the keyboard way up here and versus all of this down there. I still hear my Mellotron, so that sounds good. Now I know for a fact that this sample is at a certain volume, so I want to bring this Mellotron down to about halfway of that. So let's bring the Mellotron down to, let's right in the middle there is good, somewhere there. And of course, now that I hit the shift key to get out of that split area, you can see specifically what the level is. So somewhere around a 12.7, I guess. Okay, so I've split my keyboard. I've got my effects on here. Let's save it one more time for good measure. Double click the store button. You've just saved it. It's called Today. And oh, there's one more thing I need to do. I need to make sure that both my panel A and B play at the same time, so no matter where I am, I have access to that sample trigger as well as the Mellotron strings. So I'll double click those buttons, and now both of them are, one is blinking, meaning that's the one I happen to be looking at. That one is, B is the one I'm happy to be looking at now. So I'll stick to panel A in case I need to do any last minute changes. but I think we're ready. So when I hit the C key, which is that right split, what am I going to hear? I'm going to hear the sample. When I play anything on the left side, I'm going to hear the mellotron. And I'm going to try to do both here. I'll let the sample go through once, and I'll do my best to play along on the second time through. All right, let's do it. Aha! I've only got one little tidbit there that needs to be fixed. I need that sample to be held so that I don't have to hold the C key the whole time. So I've got a great button here called the KB hold, keyboard hold, I believe that means. The KB hold works for samples. It's typically used in an arpeggiator, where you'd have an arpeggiator sequence running without you having to hold it. But it also works equally well for samples. So I'll hold that, I'll make sure that button hold is on. And now let's try this again.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. I may not always love.
And that's it. So I've just played along with the sample, the mellotron, you heard all that. Let me show you a couple other fun things you can do now that you have that sample and you have the idea of what's going on there. If I select the hold button, make sure that sample plays through, I can actually add a few effects to it, which hopefully won't destroy it, but only enhance it. So let's hear what that sounds like.
I may not always
I can add the unison button over here.
But long as there are stars above you,
and actually double or triple Brian's voice.
I'll make you so sure about it.
Add some EQ.
God only knows what I'd be without you. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you,
add some delay.
You never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you.
So hopefully I didn't insult anyone by taking that and changing it, modifying it, playing along with it. I really just wanted to inspire people and to make you think outside the box a little bit about just how powerful your Nord Stage 3 is. It's truly an unbelievable machine. This is not the only thing that can sample music. Obviously there's sample players and they were created from the 80s, 70s, and 60s, even over the mellotron in a sense as a sampler. But it's really neat to know that you have all that power to do so many things with your Nord Stage 3. And really, we've only scratched the surface. I plan on doing a lot with the electromechanical keyboard. I want to explore that and the whole idea of a B3 versus a Vox versus a Farfisa. What are those organs? What are they all about? And so this was our sampler, player, mellotron video. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.